It's that time of the week again, and we are here to discuss my top 5 anime of this week. We had this might have been the best week of the season so far. Actually, I can guarantee that for me, at the very least, this is the best week of the season so far because we had some great hitters. Even my lowest scoring shows really fucking well. But we're not here to talk about the lower things. We're here to talk about the top 5, and we're going to start that off with Easygoing Tower Defense. I don't care about the rest of the name. That's all we need. So this is the first time this has been put up. This show is essentially guy gets isekai'd into child in, I believe, a duke's family. In this world, elemental powers are the peak, and the duke's other sons all have elemental powers. Anything else is looked down upon, but most so production magic. And of course, RMC has to have production magic. This is great because he gets shipped out to the boonies to a town that's more than likely going to die within the next year, and he fortifies the absolute hell out of it. As you can see, top, because that is the inner portcullis to the city, because that's the center defense. There's much bigger walls, much stronger ballistas on the outside. And over the course of it, he's made some friends. He's been betrothed at least twice to once to people from another town, once to a race of mermaid-like sages that the name of them is escaping me. But this episode, we got to see what his stuff can really do, because they put out some overpowered ballista made out of iron, and then a dragon rocked up. Dragons in this world are ridiculously powerful, as they should be. But the ballista wasn't quite strong enough to take it out. But we've also got overpowered characters as well, because on top of our MC, we also have his guard duty, who are really powerful. We have his tutor, who is an extremely powerful mage, specifically earth magic. I don't know if that's all he really does, or if it's just, hey, this is what he thought was the most useful thing at the time. But we got to see him go hard on the earth magic. And his first fiance's, or attempt at fiance's, lady in waiting, I think she's meant to be. She's also kind of her god. Fire magic. And it was so good to see that this dragon didn't get taken out easily. It almost got through the city, but all of the parts from the group that he has amassed came together to knock this thing out. And I love it because it's like, hey, we could have just had the overpowered main character, all the things the overpowered main crafter made, kill this thing. Instead, it takes a whole village, literally. Yeah, this one's one of those weird ones that not everyone's going to be into. But if you like the Unaware Atelier and things like that, check this one out. In our number 4 slot for the week, we have gnosia. I want to talk about gnosia properly for a second here, because gnosia does my head in every time I watch it. It's such a weird show. This week we got sent back a day. So all of the other loops that we've been going through all start at the exact same time. This one doesn't. This one starts the day before. And we got to see the main character try and save everyone, but in reality it turns out that he's not there to save people. He's there to set off Stella's loop, because Stella's the one that set off his loop. So it all goes full circle, and now they've caused each other to cause each other. Stella's gone to another universe to give another version of him the key. And yeah, everything seemed pretty well wrapped up this episode. My problem is, there's 3 more episodes left this season. I don't know what the fuck is meant to happen for 3 more episodes of this mind-bending bullshit. I am so down to find out. I don't know what's meant to happen. All that's really... They even gave, the end of show, this is what happened to each of these characters after the end of it, apart from 3. The 3 people we didn't find out who had happened to them are Stella, who's off in another universe, which could be explained away. There's you, who's the main character, and that can be explained away because this is a visual novel, and you are meant to be you. So we want to have that as an open-ended thing. And the priestess to the machine, whose name I forget, who it just labeled as unknown. So all I can think of is that the last 3 episodes are going to be showing what those 3 characters ended up doing after the show. I could be wrong. That's all I can think of. Yeah, we're on episode 18 of this. There are 21 episodes in the season, and I don't know where this is meant to fit in. Let's move on. We got JJK. This is the opposite of Gnosia because this week we just had absolute bomb fight. Technically 2 of them, because the Yuji got into a fight and got blasted through a building by a woman who can turn her hair into a jet engine. She just hits him, blasts him out a window. He knocks her in her hair. Hair falls back to hair. As far as we know, she's kaput. And then another guy shows up with basically the same power, but he uses it to make a helicopter blade instead of a jet. And that's a much more ongoing fight because we get to see more than like 20 seconds of it. And it's such a great hot open to the episode. Well, actually, wasn't that? I can't remember how this one started. I can't remember if this one started with that happening or no, we had a little bit of time before that where it was, hey, we're going into the place. And it turns out that there's people spawn camping. And this happened after Yuji fell through the sky because his spawning point was right up in the air. His mate was not. His mate spawned over there somewhere. And now they're both being told different things by different people about where the guy that spent 100 points was. It's weird. I'm terrible at explaining these things. But that's the gist of what happened. It's literally on here because it was an extremely well choreographed fight. And I am a sucker for well choreographed, well animated fights. In our number 2 slot for the week, we have Fire Force. And we are trying to protect the reactor, Amaterasu. And it's fun to see because we've got 2 different fronts right now. We've got the other front where we're trying to stop the white clad from getting inside. And then we've got the in front of the reactor front where a bug controlling plague doctor is trying to get into the reactor. We found out that the key to the reactor is pi, and because of the original Great Cataclysm, pi is now a set number. There is an ending point, and they've just finished calculating it, and that's how we can get in there. Which, since the Great Cataclysm was meant to be like the epitome of imagination coming together, there was some massive ass nerd whose imagination was just, hey, I want pi to have an endpoint. I love it so much because I'm also a massive nerd, but it's a weird thing to happen. Outside of that, we got to see magnetic fields disrupting bugs, which is nifty. There's a bigger fight happening out the front than was happening previously, but also it turns out the people at the front aren't being stopped by the firefighters out the front. It's actually the other way around. They're trying to hold them off so that they can't run in and help, which I thought was rather cool. But this episode ends with a guy managing to get inside because he used one of his bugs to mind control Vulcan's offsider. And I love the fact that we've got bugs that can send people insane because let's be real, people act insane around bugs in real life. But this is just like showing us how close the end game for this show is. And I'm so psyched because obviously, like everyone else, I've had the ending of this spoiled. I'm going to be watching the end of this, and then I'm starting to watch Soul Eater. Cannot wait. And finally, for our number 1 slot, you love it, you've seen it. It's Dusk. I'm never going to be able to remember the actual name of this. In the clear moonlit dusk, where we got to see the Senpai Prince get jealous, which is not something he's used to. And our Kohai Prince not know how to deal with that because she's not used to people being into her, let alone somebody being jealous of somebody else being into her potentially. Yeah, this show does just portray. I say this every week. This show portrays teenage romance and the issues that can come from it so well because I'm on the edge of my seat for a slice of life in rom-com show, which either says a lot about me or says a lot about how well written this show is. Also, I want to eat the curry. I don't like curry, but I want to eat their curry. That's going to do it for this week. Let me know what your favorite thing for this week has been. And as always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe while you're here. I've been Faye, you've been awesome, and I'll see you all next time.